All right, so this is the Dodd's kind of workshop slash boat storage. And what we're going to do here, looking at painting the entire structure, he installed the Hardie himself. So other than some caulking, he did a really nice job. Other than some caulking, we got some fascia. We're going to do Hardie fascia overlay all the way around, but on both gable ends, we're going to do a little minor construction modification. So you can see here where the fascia is pretty much sticking out in some places past the corrugated roof. So my suggestion was we take this fascia, it's all rotted anyways. The two sides are fine. The gable ends both need to be fully replaced. So when we take all this off, we can actually nail it back to because there's no soffit here, it's just the nailers and the corrugated. Take that 2x6, the new 2x6, and install it flush with the Hardie 1x4 freeze board that he has on there basically, and then overlay that. So then again, we'll have some good overhang with the corrugated, and we can stop, because even if we do a sub fascia, and then a fascia overlay, we're still going to be, stuck with kind of that, the situation where that's going to be rotted, because that water just dripping right off that roof line into that sub fascia. On the ends here, obviously, we're going to bring that back, since it's going to be pushed back almost with that, kind of parallel with that first rafter beam there. So it'll be just on top of that. So we're going to have to cut back this side fascia right here to probably right about here to square it off on the corners. So he's totally fine with that. That way we can do a continuous, fascia wrap all the way around with no seams and no weirdness. But basically that would clean up kind of the problem that he's having here on these gable ends. So that's the plan for here. Again, just painting the entire structure, fascia overlay all the way around, and then on both gable ends, completely replacing the 2x6 sub fascia before we do the fascia overlay, and cutting it back. Kind of losing light here, but cutting it back, basically to eliminate what we have right now is kind of like a soffit, faux soffit. We're going to cut that 2x6 back and then square up the corner on this facing board right here. Cut that squared off, and then fascia overlay whole thing. It's going to look better. It'll be more practical in terms of keeping that fascia more protected under the roof line, as opposed to right now where here we have a decent overhang. As we go back, you can see we kind of lose that roof line, that overhang, and that's why this fascia is doing all kinds of craziness. And it's really not entirely supported. So now we can use the side structure, the side wall of the house, to support that sub fascia, and use the Hardie fascia overlay to protect it. Both the front and the rear garage door here will be painted. And you can see this, guys, kind of see how bad that is. See that, how it's all flailing out there. The only thing holding that together is the plate he used. And then, see over here, just a side one window. Just got some caulking and sealing to do on some of the seams and some of the butt joints to the trim. But other than that, it's pretty much ready to go. We can paint all this conduit and the electrical so it matches the new color of the siding. And then, of course, we would paint the fascia, as well after we install the Hardie fascia. We're going to go over and look at the main house here, but I'll cut the video because we got a little bit of a walk. Okay, so now we're at the main house of the Dodds, and let's see, I'm going to go around this way first. So again, here we talked about the kind of the workshop or the boathouse. Here we're looking at the main house. Let me start on the right side because the gate to the back is on the left. So again, here we're just doing painting. We're replacing some posts. And really that's the extent of it. So here's the right side of the home. We got this gable here. Relatively good shape, no really big signs of any kind of rot or deterioration. Talked about fascia overlay, but again with the gutters, the really nice leaf guard gutter system that they have on a good majority of the fascia, that would all have to come down, and that would be, I think, more than they're looking to take on. So basically we're just painting fascia, soffit, sidewalls, the carport, porch ceiling, the front porch ceiling up under here, and this entire carport porch ceiling will all be painted as well. We're going to do some post replacement as well, so we'll talk about that in a second. But here's what we got, just primarily fascia and soffit, and then this gable end here that need to be painted. So we have 7 6x6 by probably 8 foot columns that are all to some degree like this, rotted out down below. So we need to put on the proper footings for those, the little plates that would lift those up off the concrete, and then replace basically all of these posts. We have 7 6x6 by 8 foot, and then we have 2 4x4 by 8 foot. So all of those would get replaced, and then I figured what we do is just do a 1x6 footing in Hardie around each one. So basically, what is that, 6 6 1 2 14 feet of 1x6 around the 6x6 columns, and then we got, what is that, 8 and 8, 16. So again, probably another 32 inches, we call it 3 feet of 1x6 around the 4x4 columns. I lost my train of thought there for a second. So all these posts, all these columns will be getting replaced. This little area, of course, will be painted as well, and then this banister and the railing we'll kind of remove that prior to the post replacement, of course, and then they can burn that in their burn pile, and then they'll worry with probably Mr. Dodd will install some new sort of banister or railing on the front porch himself. Here you can take a look at the porch ceiling. So you see that. Again, really, I mean, they've taken very good care of the home. It just needs some paint. So there's no major rot to speak of, which is awesome. We're just looking at putting on, some fresh paint. On the dormers, again, the dormers will be fully painted. So the sides, the fascia, and the soffit. They're looking at a new front door, so we're going to go have some fun with that here in a second. But the gutters will all stay, so we will not be, that's the primary reason we're not doing fascia overlay, because they don't want to have to fool with taking the gutters down and putting them back up. So again, over here to the left side, another gable end. Got a pretty good degree of, kind of mold and mildew going on there that we'll have to power wash off first before we paint, obviously. But this side is all getting painted as well. And as we come back here, there's really not much to speak of back here. We're looking at a new door here. There's a bathroom window somewhere. I bet it's over here. There's one bathroom window we're going to look at replacing, and we haven't gotten to that yet. I don't think that's it. I thought it was here, but maybe not. So that's yet to be determined. But they're also looking at replacing this door here. It's a left-hand outswing, the front door, as well as one they're looking at replacing. But back here, it's just fascia and soffit. Again, gutters everywhere, all the way around the back, except for on this gable. So this gable would need to be painted, fascia and soffit. Where the guttering is, we're just going to have to paint, the fascia the best we can with the guttering in place. But of course, all the soffit will be painted all the way around the back. And that's pretty much what we're looking at. It's a beautiful home here up in Spring Branch. Super peaceful. It's just absolutely gorgeous right now. A good little project, as far as getting to, just kind of restore. They're looking kind of like a 5-10 year fix, paint, just to freshen things up. They don't think they're going to be here much longer than that. But that's kind of what we are looking at. And then one bathroom window, wherever that might happen to be. But that's pretty much the scope of work that we're talking about, in addition to the shop that we already looked at. So again, look forward to the opportunity to work with y'all, and thank you so much for having me out tonight.